Hey everybody, this is Joseph Pasek, and welcome to the Fired Up Network. Welcome to the On the Mat Wrestling Show with yes, I'm going to say this all the time, Hall of Fame referee, my good friend Jimmy Korderas. Jimmy, are you ready for like 17 hours of AEW wrestling and like 4 hours of WWE?
Well, I think I'm going to have to go to bed early on Friday. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, Friday. There's not much doing on Friday. There's SmackDown also, and like
Yeah, but at least they're only 2 hours now, and they're done by 10 o'clock. So yeah.
Well, don't get me started with this 2 hours because Raw's supposed to be 3 hours, but it's literally like 2 hours 35 minutes, and nobody's talking about that.
No, I'm fine with that. I'd rather that than
I
the full
am
3
also
hours.
because
But it's not a hard 2.5. Like
yeah.
sometimes it'll be 2:20, whatever. I don't mind that.
All right, so and plus now it's Monday Night Football. Watching your Tennessee Titans. Never mind. All right.
No, I don't watch. I don't want to watch them right now. Hey, I will say this about the Titans: Cam Ward got thrown to the Lions. I mean, he wasn't supposed to start this first year, but due to injuries, you know, he shows some flashes of some. You know, he's got that throwing arm. He does this weird sidearm thing every once in a while, and you're like, holy crap. So it's there, but you know how it is. You have a talented quarterback. You need to build around him. You need a front. You need an offensive line. You need a running back who can carry the ball, and you also need some guys who. He's got some decent receivers. They need some work up front on the front line, though.
Yeah, well, don't compare it to my Buffalo Bills. Right?
Wait, we're supposed to be talking wrestling.
Yeah, well, this is the Monday Night Football. Never mind. All right, so let's get to AEW All Out here from the Scotiabank Arena Saturday. We don't know if it's gonna the pre-show or the tailgate party or whatever is gonna start at 2, at 1, at noon, but the event will start at 3. We have some pre-show matches or 0-hour matches, and let's get to it. Tornado tailgate match, 8-woman tag match. Willow Nightingale, Mina, Harley Cameron, Queen Amanada, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Megan Vane, Penelope Ford. Who are you calling this one?
I have no idea. I mean, like this feels like just we have all these women on. We want to throw them on the card, but there's no room on the pay-per-view. We'll put them on the pre-show. And let's see. If you're going to do anything, it's a pre-show match, so you'd want to get the baby faces over and have people happy. And what I don't understand is tailgate brawl. What does that mean? Well, is it outside? Did they set up a ring outside in the parking lot? There's no real. Anybody who's been to Scotiabank Arena knows there's no real outdoor parking lot. They've got they're at the end of Bremner there, but I don't think they're going to close down Bremner, because then if you do that, then you don't get to that parking. Anyways. I don't know what it means. Tailgate brawl.
You know what it means? I'm going to tell you. Outside, like you said, Bremner and all that. But instead of saying who needs tickets, here, take the tickets and sit down. That's what it's going to be like, okay? So put it that way. After like 5 hours of it, but hopefully it's a good match, and I tend to agree with you there. As it's a pre-show, so as the faces should go over. I don't know if you have the other 2 or 3 pre-show matches.
Yeah, one of them I see listed here is Daniel Garcia versus Shibata.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with that one, because here I have maybe pre-show. So go ahead. Daniel Garcia, who actually turned heel, and Shibata is, how many times they fought twice already. This is 3rd time. I think Daniel Garcia will win this one.
No, I agree with you, Joe. It doesn't make sense for him not to, especially now that he's a new member of the Death Riders. It makes perfect sense for him to win. Whether he works out in the Death Riders is a story that we'll have to follow and see if it happens. But he's the guy who's got to win this one.
He's got to, and I think they're going to make him look big there, right? With a big victory there. Okay, and what's the 3rd pre-show match you have there?
I got the Ops, which is Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs against the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and JD Drake. I think this one's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I heard the 4th pre-show, because I hear 4, maybe Bandito and Brody King in a 4-way ladder match.
That one's going to be on the pre-show.
It goes maybe pre-show. It says maybe pre-show. Maybe they have 3 or 4 pre-show matches.
That one, if it goes on the pre-show, makes zero sense because they're your AEW Tag Team Champions, and I can't see this being on the pre-show, especially with Matt and Nick Jackson involved. I don't see that happening. I don't see them wanting.
But Matt and Nick Jackson, you think they're going to win? Let forget about pre-show. You think we'll start off with this one? You think they win the tag team titles? Because I think Bandito and Brody King have been holding the titles, and they're a good tag team.
Mm-hmm.
But what good does it do? There has to be another storyline, and maybe put it with, now that they have money, maybe give it to the Young Bucks.
I don't want to see the Young Bucks as champion again. I like the team of Brody King and Bandito.
Yeah.
At first I was skeptical, but they've grown on me. I just hope it's not a vehicle to get the belts off them so soon. I mean, you look at the Jet Speed or whatever they're called with Kevin Knight and Speedball. I could see them wanting to put the titles on them, but they haven't really. They're flashy, and the other team is part of the Callis family, Josh Alexander, who I don't understand why they haven't done more with this poor guy, and Hechicero. For me, it makes sense for Brody King and Bandito to retain, but I'm very worried that they won't.
and that's why I led it, because when you talk about Speedball, he's Canadian. When you talk about Josh Alexander, they got to do something with him. He's Canadian. The show is in Canada. So I think one of those Canadian teams, if it's not going to be the Young Bucks, will win the tag team titles. That's my opinion there. So that's my opinion there. All right, next match. Making his return, Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill.
Well, good for Eddie Kingston that he's able to make it back. Nobody likes to see anybody injured and out for that length of time, but I almost feel like there should have been more fanfare for his return, as opposed to, hey, look, he's going to have a match on this pay-per-view, yay, against Big Bill, yay. And this is not a shot at Big Bill. I'm just saying, make it a bigger deal. It doesn't feel like it's a big deal, and it should be.
It should be, and you know what? He's going to win. It's going to be a big deal because I think Eddie Kingston's going to win.
No, I'm not saying 100%. Nothing's 100% in wrestling, but I will say 99% sure that Eddie Kingston is going to win. And like I said, I think he deserved a bigger spotlight than this. That's all.
All right. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. They hurt people, all right, against Bishop Compton and Ricochet. I think, are the Hurt Syndicates faces or heel? Because I don't know if they're faces or heel, because people are cheering for them and screaming their names and all that. So I'm going to say they're faces because Ricochet, everybody hates him.
Okay. I guess in this situation, they're faces by default. I mean, you're right.
I agree.
They're see, and I hate the term tweener. Everybody says, well, they're tweeners. No, if you're a tweener, that's not good.
No.
But this match, I think, is going to be very interesting. I'm a big fan of Shelton and Bobby and MVP as well. I think they're really good. They're very the guys that are underrated in this one are Bishop Khan and Toa Leona.
Yeah,
the Gates of Agony. I think they're very good. This one is going to be. I think this is going to be one of the matches on the show that people go, "Oh, this was fun." It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining because you have guys like MVP, you have guys like Shelton Benjamin and Bobby who could dictate the pace of this match and take it over and really guide these guys into a really good match. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting. And what needs to happen here, I know Ricochet hasn't won a match in a long time, but a win over the Hurt Syndicate would be a big boost for these guys.
I agree, but I think the Hurt Syndicate's going to win with a debuting new member.
Ooh,
I believe it may be Lee Moriarty. That's a guy that they could push. with Bobby Lashley MVP. I would get, I would talk to TNA and get Cedric Alexander, but I don't know his contract or whatever. But if they can't get him, I see Lee Moriarty there, and I see it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen on Saturday or the next pay-per-view. Now I got to talk about my good Jewish friend who just got married, and he's taking on Mark Briscoe. And Jimmy, stop looking at his pickle. All right, so stop looking at his pickle. But MJF, Mark Briscoe in a tables and thumbtacks match. I'm gonna say there's going to be like 20 tables, but there's going to be 20,000 thumbtacks, and you know who's going to go through it. All right, it's Mark. MJF is going to win this match, but Mark Briscoe is going to be battered, bleeding, and you can't believe he's like the next Mick Foley. Go ahead. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. MJF, Mark Briscoe. I enjoy Mark Briscoe. He's very entertaining, and he just seems to be that guy, the upper mid card guy who helps get, has to eat the pin for someone else, and it's too bad it's come to that. I did it need to be tables and thumbtacks, but I guess because it's Mark Briscoe, it makes sense, sort of. Sort of, kind of.
Well, they want they'll take the loss, but he'll go through millions of it, and then everybody will be happy there. Put it that way. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin in a coffin match, and this match could have been only better if they did top of the mountain coffin match
and slide all the way down afterwards.
Exactly.
This one, I don't understand this. I don't understand this matchup, and I'll tell you why. Because not too long ago, didn't Darby Allin and Gabe Kidd have the incident where he put Gabe Kidd in the body bag and dragged him behind on the truck? Yeah. So why is he not having the coffee match with Gabe Kidd? The coffin match. Coffee. I said coffee. Yeah. I'm working my gimmick here, getting my coffee in. Why isn't he having the coffin match with Gabe Kidd? And because then save the Jon Moxley match. Yeah, and save the Jon Moxley match for later.
It's AEW. They put everything into every match, every pay-per-view, all that. And really, like, I agree with you 1,000%, and I would want to see that match again. Mm-hmm. But if they put who else would Jon Moxley face then?
Does he really need to face anybody?
Yeah, but it's a pay-per-view. He's got to be on there. He's the former champion.
See, that's the problem.
What they think. That's what AEW thinks.
They think that everybody has to be on their pay-per-views, and that's not the way it should be, because when you keep putting everybody on the pay-per-view, nobody's special anymore. Everybody's just, we know everybody's going to be on. It's like we have all those matches on the pre-show feel like a participation trophy. Oh, you're signed with the company. We got to do something with you. We'll throw you on the pre-show. Here you go.
Exactly. It just makes you wonder what's he doing there. Like, we both want AEW to succeed.
Yes.
We give competition to WWE, and having these 17-hour pay-per-views and all the wrestling, every pay-per-view they come through. But come on, the storyline is questionable to say the least.
Yeah, and as far as being competition, I don't see it as being competition. Just be something else that people can enjoy. I mean, there's so much. Does it have to be a Monday Night War thing again? No. Just do your thing. Put out the best product, stuff that makes sense and people can enjoy outside of the sickos. Because if you're catering to one group of people, you're not expanding your audience. That's the issue they're having. They're not expanding their audience because they're catering to a certain niche group.
All right, AEW Unified Championship. And this, I think this match, not a lot of people are talking about. It could be a show stealer. What do you say? A three-way dance, Kata, Takeshita. So what do you say here?
I like Takeshita. I think I'm a big Takeshita fan. I think he's the guy that needs to win this championship. Okada has been less than exciting as whatever the championship was before it was unified.
Yeah,
I mean, what was it, Continental or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Continental, and then Kenny and all that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. the reason for having Mascara Dorada in this match. I I
They
guess it
probably
is.
just want to showcase him, but with this, Takecha and Okada, I think they're setting up a one-on-one for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, it could definitely happen. I'd love to see it. I'd rather in this situation, if they're having another match at the next pay-per-view, I'd rather Okada retains
Yeah, that's what I
pinning
believe.
pinning Mascara, and Takeshita and him have a story going forward to the next pay-per-view, and then have Takeshita beat him in a one-on-one situation as opposed to, you know, not pinning Okada to take the title.
Exactly there.
I think it makes him. Like I said, I'm a big Takeshita guy. The guy is really, really good.
All right. I don't know if it's only the TBS Championship or maybe it's one of her 9 other titles. Mercedes Monet versus Rio and the other challengers. And we should mention the other challengers, but it's Mercedes Monet for the last year in AEW. Is she going to lose the TBS title?
No,
So
not
there you
having. I
go.
mean, like, yeah. I see, and I know people are going to say, why you hate? I'm not a hater. I just don't get what this big fascination is with Rio. I don't get it. I'm sorry. It's, you know.
100%. And she's good, but she's small. And if you're gonna put a title on her, it doesn't. Here's a lady, Mercedes Monet, coming from WWE, Sasha Banks, who looks amazing and gave her 9 titles. They gave her 9 titles. Yes, she's working her ass off, but they gave. Now you're gonna lose to Riho.
No, and okay, I get the belt collector thing, but can the average fan out there name 3 of the other belts?
No, it's ladies title,
Yeah,
ladies title. So
yeah.
that's it.
Which company? They had done nothing to actually. Yes, people are saying, "Well, look, she's carrying those title belts on television." Yeah, but nobody knows what they are. So how are you helping those other companies if you don't mention them on your television show?
It's another thing that boggles the mind with AEW. Now, another ladies match, AEW's Women's World Championship 4-way match. Tony Storm, who's been amazing, Tekla, who's been good, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander, who's been really good. This, for me, is a toss-up. What do you say?
You can make a case for anybody in this one. I mean, like
Yeah.
Tony Storm, of course, has been fantastic. Her character, she's probably, you can make the argument, she's the most entertaining and over character in AEW currently.
Yeah.
But Jamie Hayter, I don't see her. Chris Statlander, maybe. They seem to like Thekla, the spider lady. What did they call her? What's the nickname for it? Yeah. Yeah, the spider lady, whatever.
Yeah.
They seem to like her a lot, but I don't think this is the right time. Tony Storm still is the most popular, most over character, in my opinion, in AEW right now, especially considering they've got some of their top people on the shelf. Not the right time for Tony Storm to lose the title.
All right. This is probably going to be the main event, but since we're both Canadian, we'll touch about Edge Christian match at the end. AEW World Championship, Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher. Page defends his title up against the rising Fletcher. I think Page is going to win this, but the show or the person of the night will be Fletcher. And Hangman Page always lets these guys take a lot of offense on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to make Fletcher a star, but Hangman Page is going to win. What do you say, Jimmy?
I agree with you. There's no doubt this match is going to be great. Hangman Page have been having some great matches. Kyle Fletcher has a lot of potential. I mean, he's good right now, but he can be great if he stays on the right path. It's just going to be a matter of why so soon. I know they had to pivot here again with all the injuries and that sort of thing. And apparently my understanding is that slot was was slated for Wardlow on his return, but an unfortunate injury again sidelined him. So they had to go with another member from the Callis family. I just don't like the fact that they had to go with the TNT champion again. Yep. Yes, Kyle Fletcher. I think Hangman in his promo on Dynamite was right. Yeah, you're going to be the guy, but right now is not your time. And him, I know they say you can get over without going over, but in this case, by him eating a loss to Hangman Page, kind of halts his trajectory. So them matching up, they could have found someone else from the Callis family if they wanted. Why not slot someone like a Josh Alexander in that place, especially considering they're in Toronto? They could have done that and built that up, as opposed to having them have a match on television, which meant absolutely nothing. They could have built it up and have it mean something at this pay-per-view in Toronto.
So this is what I have heard, because I talked to a few contacts in London where it was, Dynamite. You're right about Wardlow. And do you know if he's returning soon, or is he on the shelf for months? Because I have heard people did not know, and I could see a schmoz with Wardlow coming out, beating both guys, and then having a match at the next pay-per-view, especially if this match is not the main event. They give it to Edge and Christian, the main event.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know the extent of it. Someone claimed online, from what I read, that it was a torn bicep or something like that. If it is, then I can't see him being back this quickly. But at the same time, they're always right with their stories online. So they're about as right as the weatherman.
All right, and the weathermen are like 30% right.
What, that high?
Yeah, well, that's like a Tennessee Titan kicker. But anyways,
oh wow, you had to go there, huh?
Edge and Christian up against FTR. The first time Edge and Christian are in their hometown, even though it's not Orangeville, but whatever. They say some like 25 years, the tag teaming up and everything like that, or 20 years. Now, I'm going to ask you for both. Edge and Christian are going to win. Okay? In my eyes, they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for Edge and Christian? And then because they win, what's next for FTR?
That's a good question. I you know what? I didn't think that far ahead because I was so interested in this match, because Edge and Christian tag teaming again here in Toronto. I wish they wouldn't have had that other match first. I wish this would have been their first match together in that long. But and
remember, they were apparently this was supposed to be a tag team title match.
Yes, which it isn't now. So maybe that's in the future for Edge and Christian. They're having this match and they decide afterwards, hey, one last run, let's go for the championship. You never know. And as far as FTR, maybe they start going down that dark hole, kind of like what the Young Bucks were going through.
Yeah. So it should be interesting to see what they do with the tag team situation, because we have, the Hurt Syndicate, where I said they're going to involve a new person in the Hurt Syndicate. Then we have, Bishop and Toa there, that they're up and coming. Then they got Speedball and the other guy up and coming also. Interesting. And if they put Edge and Christian, or again FTR there, and the Young Bucks, this tag team's division is getting better and better. But is there, I know the end goal is probably to give Edge and Christian the title, but maybe Christian is the funniest of them all, because he's like, he takes the mic and says, first of all, it's CNC versus AAC, so there's a little bit of hint that he's still a heel there or whatever. Is this match going to end up finally Christian, Edge hugging, and then Max Domi comes out like winning the Stanley Cup or something like that, and that's it? Because there's only one way, or if they want to make them monsters, put FTR over. That will be monsters, but it's not going to happen in Toronto.
No, not going to happen in Toronto. If that happens, then they're shooting themselves in the foot, because there's an opportunity here. I know some of the old WWE way of, you never go over in your hometown. when you're on. But this is a situation where they need to go over big time and make it special and make it a big moment.
So, and here's the other question that is debatable, but is this their last time wrestling in Toronto? Forget about as a tag team, because I don't know how many years left Christian has or Edge has.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know what their contract status is, but at the same time, last time in Toronto, I'm going to say no. I'm not going to say necessarily with AEW. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know where. Everybody says, well, these guys are older. They're not going to go back to WWE. You never know where they're going to show up.
Exactly.
You know what? We got the Dudleys versus the Hardys coming up in at Bound for Glory, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool? They said one last time. Well, what if one last time you get all three of them together? Edge, Christian, Matt, Jeff, Bubba, and Devon. One final time. I don't know if they could do TLC, but to get them together, hey.
Well, that may happen in 2027. Put it that way, okay? Because if they go into another organization who has already, affiliation with TNA, you never know. And I know if you're WWE, I know you want to have one more match, TLC or whatever you want to call it, right, with the Dudleys, with the Hardys, and with Edge and Christian. And you can have Lita on a pole or something like that, right? So that's it. All right, Jimmy, tell everybody how they could get a hold of you. Tell them about a Huge Pop Radio that you have. A good friend from Score and everything like that, Ardo Cal, but go ahead.
Yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at Jimmy Korderas, on Instagram at Real Jimmy Korderas. You can catch me and Donnie on Huge Pop Radio this week. Yes, my old Aftermath buddy, Ardo Cal, a.k.a. Kyle Edwards, joins us for a little bit of a chat. Perfect timing, seeing as this is going to be the debut for WWE on the ESPN platform. Guess where Ardo Cal is now? Yes, he is. He's at ESPN. So it's a lot of fun chatting with him and catching up. So, search it out. You can find it right here on the Fired Up Network.
All right. And Jimmy, hopefully the card is great. Hopefully you enjoy 8 hours of wrestling. But better yet, close it out here, because you're also going to preview the next WWE PLE. Is Steve and A. Smith going to appear on ESPN's broadcast of WrestlePalooza?
I wouldn't doubt it. I didn't think of that, but I wouldn't doubt it in the least. That they're going to pull out all the stops. They are going to pull out all the stops. So,
well, let's
hope. Be very interesting.
Let's hope. Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
My pleasure, buddy.